workshop has been very good, very enlightening, and I have also loved the objective of the workshop, faith as a cornerstone for advancing human rights. I've really loved it because we've also talked about inclusion and exclusion.
I'm sure you have different experiences that you've encountered when it comes to issues of inclusion and discrimination. I believe Canon Gideon has had different experiences. Vincent Owanda has had different experiences. Sheikh Ibrahim has had different experiences. So the idea of this section, what I'm here to do,
a section of the community is excluded, that is usually the beginning of the clash. In other words, we should not discriminate anybody based on his social background, based on his gender, based on his education, or based on where he's coming from. The formation was quite fine, according to me, because we had bishops, we had priests, we had pastors, and it was also diverse from different churches. We had Anglicans, we had Episcopalians, I was there Catholic, and others who are there. The lay people who are basically, according to us, are also priests by the virtue of their baptism. The Muslims were also there, and they contributed a lot, and very inspiring words. So I found that we were all on the same boat, and we were journeying together, and our minds were, though diverse, they were converging at one angle, that we all need peace, we all need love. If we want to build a nation, if we want to build a people, we must all come together. We must learn to tolerate one another for those things that divides us. But for those things or issues that unite us, we must always come together and join hands and build our communities. That image of a priest trying to tell a congregant to stay out, for me that image was giving me an idea of a priest who is either lacking some knowledge about the congregant. Equally, the congregant who has a right to come and pray was also somehow a bit insensitive, but she had a right to come to church. The priest did not also have a right, according to me, to prevent the congregant for coming based on the manner in which he was dressed. Because sometimes you can come in and you will learn more about what you are supposed to be like in the presence of others. But I also saw a difference between the understanding of religion and spirituality. You see, religion is basically an organization. It is a construct of human beings. It is a construct with laws, with rules, with practices, and also with the dressing code. That is what a religion is. And a spirituality is about values. That is what I observed there. Spirituality is about values. It is about hope. It is about your faith. It is about your needs. It is about your resources. So the values, the hope, the needs, the resources that helps you to reach your ultimate value which according to different people, some people like Christians believe in God, and Muslims. God is their ultimate value. And they always hope to reach God in different ways. But when we talk about religion, it's about rules and laws. So in that image, I saw a priest who was more on the religion than on the spirituality. For him, he was following the laws, he was following the rules, he was following the dressing code. This other person was trying to see what brings meaning into his life, what brings happiness into his life, because spirituality is about happiness. Spirituality is about meaning, how you find meaning in life, and what brings meaning to you. So there was that kind of a difference, and there is a need for education there. I saw a pastor, maybe he looked at this human being with beards and dressed like a lady. Maybe he's lacking some knowledge on scientific build-up of a human person. Some people are created differently. He had no knowledge of hormones. Some people have hormonal imbalances, and because of that, they look somehow different from the other people. Like, for example, you have seen women with beards. You've seen men with small voice and with breasts or with features that are quite different from others. You see, now, if you are a pastor and you are lacking knowledge of genetic formation or genes for that matter, you will definitely have a problem. And if you do not have experience of either going around, traveling around, working in the hospital, like I have been working in the hospital for the last 15 years, you will definitely have a problem of understanding those people. So for me, that image was very good for educating people to know that we are created first and foremost in the image of God. And God does not make mistake. He created you as a good person and as as a best person. That's why we have different people. We have people who are lame, we have people who are blind, we have people who are short, we have people who have cerebral palsy and they have been accepted in the society, you see. So for me, it is an image that will help people to be educated on the mystery of human life and that God created people differently. In this world, if people were to vest themselves or undress themselves all over the world, you'll be surprised. You'll be shocked. We live in a digital world today, and we live in a global community. And to be truthful to you, the men of the cloth, the priests, the pastors, and the bishops, they are very influential in their world or in this world. They access communities and big communities every Sunday and every day. And technology has become one of the very effective tools for communicating information, for preaching to the people, for doing anything that can bring about development. And therefore, the digital world should be used effectively, should be used accordingly, not to promote division, stigma, fear, and isolation of other people. And this simply means to love your neighbor as yourself. Use the digital world, use the means, the technology, the means of communication for things that are healthy. So technology is very handy, and that is what we learned yesterday. We learned about it today. And myself, sometimes I use it to pass over the information for human rights, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association. Of course, bearing in mind that the other person also needs to be loved, needs to be converted. So if you feel that you are right and you cannot fall, then be very careful, because your fall can be bigger and the same means of communication can be used against you and you will get finished. So use it responsibly, use it worthily, and use it for the purposes of bringing people together and helping people to grow. And even today I was doing my prayers this morning, and part of the phrase was, God, help us to use all means of communication, to use all things that we have created by the grace from you to build your glory here on earth. Human rights are inalienable rights. They are the rights that they cannot be taken away from you. They are inborn. And anybody interfering with your human rights is equally interfering with your God's given rights. No one has a right to take it away. I have already mentioned them. The right to fresh air, even the right to sex, because sex is actually the basic. It is the means by which all of us came into this world. So it is a basic need. We all need shelter. We all need sense of belonging. We all need health care. We all need education. So anybody who wants to interfere with these gifts, they are actually interfering with God's given rights. There are those things that everybody has a right to, and not only a section of the community. You see? So human rights are things that everybody should fight for.